Man, that was a whole lot easier when I wasn't the one doing the climbing to get into Tivoli. Hey there friends, welcome back. We are on the road again, and as promised, I have come back to Hamilton for part 2 of exploring this beautiful city. So we are literally a block away from where I ended my last video at the Lister block, and I'm sitting on the stairs of another famous Hamilton abandonment, the former Tivoli Theatre. Now, what's really great about this is that the actual theater portion is still intact inside behind these doors. The front facade, which I am facing towards James Street, burned down, and everything else is just beautifully preserved in there. I've been lucky, I've gotten in here a few times. Access has become a lot more difficult these days, but not completely impossible, but I don't do that anymore. So we're going to start our journey here. Today I have my Mamiya M645. I got my 45 f2.8 N lens on it, my Gossen Luna 6, and I have this loaded with Kodak Tri-X, which I'm going to be shooting at box speed of ASA 400 and developing in a new developer I've been working with, 510 Pyro. So let's not waste time. Got a ways to go to explore, all the way down to the lake, and a little bit of a surprise at the end. If you're from Hamilton, no spoilers. All right, let's hit the road. So what makes this site so special is that this is the John Weir Foote Armory, and it is the oldest military establishment here in the city of Hamilton. The modern armory is a beautiful sight to see, beautiful architecture, and something that you don't often see in Canadian cities as much anymore. The original wooden drill shed stands about a block that way, and that's where the 13th Battalion of Volunteer Infantry was founded before Canada was an independent nation. And the 13th went on to fight against the Fenians in the Battle of Ridgeway, and their traditions and history are perpetuated today in the Royal Hamilton Light Infantry, which still marches out of the armory behind me. All right, enough faffing around on the back streets. Let's get to the good stuff further south. All right, let's walk. Okay, so we've made it to another stop, and this is historically a very important part of Hamilton. This is where the railroad first came through in the 1850s, and behind me is not that old of a train station. This one was actually built in the 1930s by Canadian National as part of a make-work project during the Great Depression. But it just seems odd to see a neoclassical train station this far away from any major populated area. And the reason for that is Sir Allan Napier McNabb. He's the one who helped found and invest in Great Western to really get it off the ground and get Hamilton connected to the United States at two different locations, Sarnia and Niagara Falls, and put the headquarters here in Hamilton, his hometown. In fact, his grand manor home, Dundurn Castle, is a significant historical museum in the city and worthy of another video in of itself. But there's a lot more really cool stuff in this area before we get to the grand finale. So we're on the last 5 frames. Let's keep walking. Well, there we have it, the entire roll shot, and quite a distance I put on my own 2 feet today. But I knew I just had to end here at the HMCS Haida, the ceremonial flagship of the Royal Canadian Navy and the only surviving tribal class destroyer left in the entire world. The HMCS Haida served during World War II. It fought in the Battle of Atlantic. It shelled the beaches at Normandy at D-Day. It was part of the Train Buster Club during the Korean War. This ship has a huge amount of decorations and is just an absolute jewel that can be maintained. I first visited the Haida when it was positioned at Ontario Place in Toronto, and I had a little tiny Happy Meal 110 camera that I used, and I don't think I have those prints anymore. But I also was on it during a Lego building contest, and I was really sad when it moved to Hamilton. But the good news is that when it was moved to Hamilton, it was completely restored and is open as a museum ship. And this is where I'd like to end it today. Hamilton is just so diverse. There's so much more to explore in the city. I might come back maybe next year, but certainly not again this year. So let me know in the comments, what is your favorite museum ship that you've ever visited? Well, the Haida should be my number one. My actually number one favorite museum ship is the USS Constitution in Boston, Massachusetts. It being the oldest seaworthy commissioned warship in the world. Second is the USS New Jersey in Camden, of the state that it's named after, because you really can't beat an Iowa-class battleship. Sorry, Heidi, you're number 3, but you still are very near and dear to my heart. What is your favorite museum ship? Leave me a comment below. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing, hitting that bell notification icon so that you know when I post new comments. And as always, leave me a thumbs up. Until next time, my name's Alex Loos. Get out there, stay safe, all aboard, all hands on deck, battle stations.